What's up, everyone? Kyle here. Welcome to this edition of From Around the World Fridays. We're continuing the postcard series, Postcards Part 4. So let's jump into it. All right, so let's jump into it here, Part 4. As you can see, we still got more, so there will be more editions of this. But let's check out this pile. So actually, this first one here is from the what's it called? The Center for National Center for Civil and Human Rights in Atlanta. This was an amazing center that I went to, museum, and just kind of educational, educational to say the least. I really enjoyed it. It really showed me a lot and helped me give a better understanding of the struggle that a lot of people in the world go through and what people have gone through. There's a point in here. I highly recommend everyone go check it out. If you're in Atlanta, it's right downtown next to a lot of the big attractions. But there was one part where you can put on headphones and sit at like an old soda fountain style chair. And in the headphones, it plays a recording of like a bunch of, like, as if you were a black person in the South back in the 60s, and a bunch of white people came in and were harassing you. And it was pretty hard to make it through, to say the least. But I really enjoyed this. It really showed a lot of things, and definitely worth checking out. And yeah, this is, I got this in Alabama, actually, I think. Yes. I got this at the Legacy Center, I believe, in Montgomery, Alabama. All about the civil rights. Really great museum as well. Picture of Martin Luther King there. And another Martin Luther King quote there. And then we got the Coke. So I went to the Coke factory, or Coke museum there in Atlanta. This is, like I said, like right across from the Center for Civil and Human Rights. This was super fun. Really enjoyed the Coke museum there. Really fun. Got to sample a lot and see how Coke is the greatest marketing company in the world. Another little postcard there. There's a picture of it there, of the entrance. Super great tour. Had a ton of fun there. Definitely worth checking out if you're in Atlanta. And back to the civil rights. This was from the Legacy Center as well in Alabama. I thought that was a good quote. And this was at the one part of the Legacy Center. This is the National Memorial for Peace and Justice. This is one part of it. All of these blocks here have names of all the people who were lynched in the U.S. So there was quite a lot of them, unfortunately. And this is one of the statues that was there as well. Pretty hard to see and go through, but definitely worthwhile. And back to Atlanta, there's the Coke Museum there. And a little bit sights from around Atlanta there. Really enjoyed this. I was there for like 5 days earlier this year in 2022. I had a ton of fun. Atlanta's a great city. And another view of it there. And this one, I believe, is Estonia. So we're going all the way to Eastern Europe. This is Tallinn, Estonia. Such a cool city, right on the water, right on the Baltic Sea. This is the old town of Tallinn. It's very medieval. I know our last night there, we had dinner somewhere here in the old town at a very like medieval type place, and we had like a medieval meal from that era. We did a walking tour of the old town. Really incredible, really fun. I loved my time there in Estonia and Tallinn. And what we got here? I have not organized these, so we're all over the place here. We got Petroglyph National Monument in Albuquerque, I believe. Yep, Albuquerque, New Mexico. I did this when I was on my road trip. Ton of fun. Pretty cool little stop outside of Albuquerque there. Definitely recommend checking it out. It doesn't take you very long to go through either. Got Boulder, Colorado. This postcard is from my road trip in 2017. But good view of Boulder there and the mountains in the background. Such a beautiful place. And we got Cheyenne, Wyoming, which I really enjoyed. Actually, I was there. That was on my road trip as well. It was fun stopping there. There was like a right next to the train depot there, the main train depot. The night that I was there, they had like a little like summer nights thing with music and food vendors and stuff like that. It was really cool, and I really enjoyed my short time there. And it looks like we got Montana State Capitol in Helena. I went in there, really enjoyed driving through Montana. This was just such a fun road trip, to say the least. Got to see a lot of things. And I think we're back to Albuquerque here. Albuquerque, stopped there for about a day and a half. Really enjoyed my time there. Lots to see and do there. Yeah, pretty cool place. In Santa Cruz here, stopped and saw family when I got this postcard. Santa Cruz is a beautiful area. I definitely recommend checking it out in California if you have the chance. And driving the Highway 1 up and down California, it's pretty beautiful. In Catalina Island, I had a fun time there. Went on spring break, I think my senior year, and was there for a couple days. Got to explore a lot of the island. Such a beautiful area, just off the coast of LA, and yeah, had a ton of fun there. And we got Rocky Mountain National Park, beautiful area, beautiful national park. Colorado's got so much beauty in it. It's amazing to see, but really enjoyed that as well. And the Channel Islands, did this on the spring break trip. Beautiful as well. Very kind of unique landscape, and yeah, just fun to see all the history and experience something different. And we're staying on the national park train here. Got the Badlands National Park. I think one of the most underrated national parks and one of my favorite national parks is the Badlands. I had a ton of fun going through there on my big road trip as well. And headed back to Eastern Europe there, Northeastern Europe. Helsinki, Finland. Had a ton of fun there for a few days. This is in the summertime, I believe, because it was not sunny when I was there in the winter. But I got to go to this cathedral here and a couple others. But absolutely beautiful area. Really had a good time exploring there. And Death Valley, went there on the spring break trip. Death Valley was awesome. It was beautiful, very unique landscape, very unique place on Earth. And yeah, definitely worth checking out. And back to Estonia. This is Tartu, Estonia. This is the main square there. So much fun there. It's a beautiful area, beautiful little town. And yeah, had fun celebrating New Year's right there. And back to Rocky Mountain National Park. Obviously, you can see how beautiful it is there. Oh, down to New Zealand here. This is Mount Cook. I stood basically in the same spot and took a similar picture. It's amazing to see. This is like, they call it the Southern Alps there. But Mount Cook, beautiful spot. The lakes that are near here are almost white. They're so light blue from the snow. It's such a beautiful place. I definitely would go back in a heartbeat there. And then we got Phoenix. Spent time in Phoenix on multiple occasions. But, another beautiful place, got a lot going on, lots to see and do there. And a great place to visit in the winter, that's for sure. And back to Boulder, this is Pearl Street, the main street in Boulder. Had fun on multiple occasions walking on Pearl Street and checking out all the shops there. Definitely worth the stop if you're in the Boulder area. And this is up Julian, California, little town that I would go to a lot outside of San Diego, up in the mountains. Really fun place to visit all times of the year. Fun to visit, especially in the fall when the leaves are changing and they got cider, apple pie, all that sort of thing. But cool little town. Whoops. Got Santa Fe, New Mexico. Beautiful, very artsy place. I wish I had more time there, but the little time I did have was a lot of fun and got to see a lot of unique history in a new spot that I had never experienced. And back down to New Zealand, this is Rotorua. There's a little area there. I forget the name of it off the top of my head here. I did write about it in my book, but New Zealand is a very what's the word? Geoactive place. There's a lot happening there. This is in Rotorua. The whole town kind of smells like sulfur because there's so much geothermal activity there. In this little spot, you can go and stand like right next to it. Also, where I did the haka with the Maori men. So that was a ton of fun, but really cool place. And Mount Rushmore. What can I say about Mount Rushmore? It's amazing that we built that, just carved these four faces into the side of a rock in the hills of South Dakota. And definitely worth the stop if you're on a summer road trip. And up to Montana there. Montana, one of the most beautiful states for sure. So much beauty, so much nature out there. Fun to go to. And over to Australia, the Great Barrier Reef. I got this in Cairns, Australia, up in the northeast of the country. Got to spend a couple days up there. Went swimming in the Great Barrier Reef. Got to snorkel with a turtle that looked kind of like this one down here. And that was a ton of fun and something I definitely am glad that I did. And back to South Dakota here. We got Wind Cave National Park. Kind of a weird place. It's the only reason I got to it was Google Maps because all of it's underground. A little bit weird to kind of find, and you can't see anything until you go underground. But pretty cool place, and I'm glad it's a national park. And back to Arizona here, we got Yuma, Arizona. Stopped there one of the times I went to Phoenix, and I got to learn a little bit of history of Yuma and Arizona, and just kind of a unique spot for sure. And back to New Zealand here, we got Wellington, New Zealand, capital city, right at the bottom of the North Island of New Zealand. Had fun there, spent a couple days there exploring everything. New Zealand's just amazing. And definitely should go check it out and explore as much of the country as you can. And over to Australia, we got Hobart, Tasmania, little island south that's part of Australia, but it's south of the mainland of Australia. Hobart is basically the end of the world. If you keep heading south, the next piece of land you're going to hit is Antarctica. So it's kind of cool to say that I was standing there at the end of civilization, essentially. Hobart's a really cool town. A lot of beautiful places there, and had a great time there. Definitely would go back. And over to Pittsburgh. Went to Pittsburgh for a conference. A long time ago now. Went in the winter, which was very cold, but Pittsburgh is a really cool city with lots of bridges. and would go back and explore more for sure. All right, one of the coolest places I've ever been to, Waitomo Caves in New Zealand. It's on the North Island. It's only like an hour or two um, outside of Auckland. It's one of the few places on Earth where you can see glowworms, which I think I talked about in the previous episode of these postcards. But it's a really incredible place, very unique, and highly recommend it. Then we got Leavenworth, Washington. I think I've had a postcard already of this one, but cool little town in the Cascades of Washington State, not too far from where I live, and always fun to visit there. And back to Colorado here, we got Garden of the Gods in Colorado Springs. I had fun walking around the park here, and such a unique landscape, and just another reason why Colorado is so beautiful. And back to San Francisco. Spent multiple times in San Francisco. Took a trolley one time. That was a lot of fun. Alcatraz in the background there. Got to spend some time at Alcatraz. Not because I was in jail, but as a tourist. Yeah, San Francisco, cool city. I don't think I would personally live there, but it's fun to visit and see all the amazing things that they got there. And back to Cheyenne, Wyoming. This is the Capitol building there. Got to go in briefly there as well. North Dakota, I think a highly underrated state. It's got a lot of natural beauty to it. Got to see a buffalo when I was there. Got to see some amazing weather when I was there. Some amazing landscapes that, yeah, not a lot of people, which is nice too. And Crater Lake National Park, such a beautiful area. I've been a few times. Yeah, obviously have to check that one out. It's amazing. And the Winslow Meteor Crater, I've seen this multiple times. I've only been to it once, which is when I got this postcard. But flying over it on a clear day, you can see the Winslow Meteor Crater, and it's pretty wild. When you're standing up close, you don't. It's so big. I can't explain how big it is. I remember when I was there, you look down through binoculars that there's a little guy in a spacesuit, little like mannequin in a spacesuit at the bottom of it, and it looks like, I mean, you can't really see it without binoculars at all. It's insanely big, but really unique thing to go see. And there's Alcatraz right there. Had fun exploring that with my friend Manny, and yeah, really unique place there that is definitely worth checking out. And we got Petrified Forest National Park in Arizona, not too far from the meteor crater. That's a fun little drive to go through and check out all the petrified wood. Definitely worth the stop. And back to South Dakota, the Black Hills, where we got Crazy Horse and we got Mount Rushmore as well. Beautiful area in western South Dakota. Cathedral of St. Helena up in Montana. Beautiful cathedral there. Helena's a cool little town to check out too. And back to Santa Fe. Again, very colorful, very artsy place. Fun to spend some time there. Colorado Springs, beautiful area. Definitely recommend checking it out. Lots of great things to see and do there as well. And back to Death Valley there, as you can see, beautiful as well. Mojave, had fun driving through there. Such unique landscapes. There's so many unique landscapes around the world. It's really cool. These are all stuck together. A lot of these ones that I got a long time ago, I stuck them up in my room in my apartment in San Diego. So they've all had tape on them at some point. A lot of these ones in this pile, at least. So they all stick a little bit. Anyways, back to South Dakota there. More beautiful images. And this is San Francisco, I forget what it's called now, the Transamerica Pyramid or something like that. Iconic building in San Francisco. And I think we're going to end it on this one here. And we'll start it fresh. We'll start with these ones next time. But this is St. Petersburg. This is the Winter Palace. So much fun visiting Russia. Really sad what's going on with all that stuff right now. But I really enjoyed spending time in Russia. It was beautiful. There's so much history there, so much unique history. And the Winter Palace is absolutely incredible. If you have the chance to visit, definitely recommend it. It's amazing. I would love to go back. I would love to see Moscow as well, and some of the more remote areas of Russia. But such a unique place and culture. So there we are, guys. That's part 4. Obviously, we got more coming up, so stay tuned. And I'll kind of intersperse these in with other videos. So stay tuned for more.